And it's lights out and away we go. But we're going to try and move up the inside here. Will it work? At the end of lap 1, we're going to dive down the inside there. We've got very good straight line speed. I don't know where we found that straight line speed. It might be our long gear ratios. Will we be able to make the move? We've not quite got the straight line speed to get alongside, but we're going to lunge up the inside, and that's the move completed on Alan cross. But he's actually managed to hang it around our outside, and I'm going to try and get a better exit out there. But it's been contact, and I'm over. That is a complete disaster. Hey guys, Mac here and welcome back to the Ayrton Senna career mode. We're here at round 2 of the championship in Kyalami, South Africa, the 1984 South African Grand Prix. Hoping for a better race this time. Last time we actually crashed out on lap 10 in Brazil. It wasn't really our fault, to be honest. Elio De Angelis sort of just understeered into us at the last corner in lap 10, and that caused our car to just flip over, and then it just slid straight into the barrier. We lost the wheel, so it wasn't too bad. Well, it wasn't too good an end to the race, to be honest. But we're hoping for a better result this time. In real life, actually, Senna scored his first points here, so we're looking to replicate the same, possibly score consistently throughout the season, and hoping to score some points here. So let's jump into practice. So we're in practice now for the South African Grand Prix. We're going to rev our engine a bit, check left just to see if there are any cars coming down the pit lane. And one thing I actually noticed with this pit lane, you can just see how narrow it is. You can only just about fit 2 cars wide in it, and if you're going to have pit stops in the race, it's going to be very narrow in that pit lane. But we're heading on to our second lap now in practice, having a little bit of a skirm coming out of that corner. Now heading into the last corner, this long right-hander, just blipping the throttle just a little bit, and we've put on the throttle far too early there, and almost span it, almost going to the wall actually, but we've managed to keep the car together. But that is our lap ruined. On our lap then, lap 4, coming into the first corner here after this very, very long straight, braking at the 100-metre board, going down to second gear. Once again, blipping the throttle. The car's quite a bit of understeer this race. We've hit the curb there and put the throttle on far too early again. I've actually headed into the wall, and that's broken our suspension. As you can see there, the car doesn't turn anymore. So you're going to see a replay here. Car just drifts a little bit too wide, and we go a little bit over the curb, and that just causes our car to go too far wide. But we're going to head into qualifying now. And you can see ahead, we're actually getting held up quite badly by 2 cars, and we're trying to get a different line through this corner just to get ahead, and he's just not getting out of the way. So it's basically sabotaged our qualifying lap there. And you can see again, we're getting held up once again. So yeah, it's not been a great qualifying session. You can see there I overreacted to that bit of oversteering and spam. But coming into the first corner then for another lap, we actually put on the throttle far too early again in an instance similar to practice, and we spin it right around a few times, which isn't too good, to be honest. But we're going to head on to another lap now. This was our quickest lap of the session, coming over to overtake Martin Brundle in this Tyrrell. It's a bit of a risky move there. But this was my quickest lap of the session, and I'm going to leave you on board. So after setting that qualifying lap, we managed to qualify in 14th place, about halfway down the grid, which isn't too bad considering we're in a Tolman. But we're now going to head on to race day for the South African Grand Prix. So we're on the grid now for race day. The lights are just about to come on at the left, and it's 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. And once again, we get an absolutely awful start. We're getting bump started from the cars behind. They're just giving us a little bit of a helping hand. It's Tom Bay and Patrese. They've already gotten past us heading into the first corner. We've got the Brabham behind us to our left. We've gone up the inside of Patrese. He braked a little bit too early there, and we're also having a look at the inside of Tombe as well. Might have a go up the inside of this corner, but there's just not enough space, especially with this many cars on track. And we're just sitting behind Tombe right now. I don't think this corner here will be flat out, especially with how slow the AI cars are going. But we're going to lunge up the inside of Tombe there, good overtaking spot. But you can just see how slow the cars ahead are going. They're taking no speed through these corners, and we've just lost all momentum. And I think that's Tombe who's actually managed to overtake his teammate Warwick there. And Betrays has also got past us heading to that corner, so we've lost a lot of momentum. We've actually not lost any positions yet, but we lost a lot of momentum already on lap 1. But not close enough to make a move into the last corner of lap 1. But will we get a good launch off this corner and get some good top speed on this straight? We've got a good run on Patrese there actually, but we've just not got the top speed to challenge. We're going to pull alongside him, but we've just not got the top speed, and that's a car that's just come out of absolutely nowhere. I think it's Francois Hesno, I can't remember what car he's in, but gone up the inside of Betrays, but he's actually gone right around our outside, and I think he's actually overtaken Hesno as well. They're heading side by side into this corner actually. Who's going to come out on top? We've gone around the outside of Hesno, and this car to our left, I believe that was Piquet, our championship leader, but we've gone down the inside Betrays and we've taken that position. But we're going to see a replay of the start here. You can just see you get an absolutely awful start. We don't even move off the start line. Just too much wheel spin in first gear, and that caused our car to just not move at all. Going to head down the inside of Betrays though, and looking down the inside of Warwick. But you can just see how busy the circuit is, and you can see here the overtake on Betrays, which will be coming up. Hesno and Betrays heading into this right-hander side by side. We've just got clean around the outside of Hesno and up the inside of Betrays. He just left the door far too open there. So now at the end of lap 2, heading into the last corner behind Thierry Boots in the Williams. Going to try and move up the inside there, not quite enough room, and he closes us off, but we're going to possibly try and move around the outside. Not quite enough grip around there, but we're going to sit behind him, possibly try and get some slipstream and make a move on this straight. But it became apparent here that our top speed was absolutely dreadful. You can see Bootson just pulled away on this straight, possibly 3 or 4 tenths, and that just highlights how bad our top speed was on this track. It wasn't apparent in qualifying, to be honest. I thought we had pretty good speed, to be honest, but in the race it was absolutely dreadful. But we've gone up the inside of 2 cars there. I think that was Winkelhock and Bootson. An easy move there, so we've got the speed in the corners. We're going to go up the inside of Derek Warwick here in the Renault, and that's another easy move, so it's 3 corners. But we've actually made contact with Mansell ahead, and I hope we've not had damage. The diagram on the bottom right is showing that we don't have damage. A little bit of a wiggle heading into that corner, but Warwick's just got past, but we've got better traction out the corner. But we have very good cornering speed, but not enough straight line speed as we go up the inside of another 2 cars. So that is 5 cars in just 1 lap. You're going to see a replay here going up the inside of Warwick. Just going to lunge up the inside into that corner, and then Mansell's actually heading through that corner very, very slowly, and that just causes us to hit into the back of him. I think it was our mistake. We just didn't anticipate how much speed he was going to be carrying through that corner. We're now on the back of Jacques Lafitte. We've managed to catch up to him after another 2 laps, or another lap. We're going to go clean around his outside, just not taking enough speed through that corner. And I'm not sure why the AI actually are taking very little speed through that corner, but on lap 5 or 6 we've actually set the quickest lap of the race at 102.1, and that's the quickest lap of the race by about 4 tenths, I believe. So our pace is actually looking very good at this point in time. I'm going to see a rearward view of Mansell just pulling us in, and you can just see the difference in top speed. He's gonna make a move down into this corner. A very easy move for him, because we're just a sitting duck on this straight. It's almost like we've got a Renault engine fitted in this Tome, because we've just got no straight line speed at all. But in the corners, we're probably one of the quickest cars. So it's that mix. We're probably not the quickest car out here, but in the corners we probably are. But we're going to try and move on Mansell here. He's gone very slowly, and we might manage to make a move around his outside and into the inside of this hairpin here. You're going to see another camera view looking behind. He tried to move down our inside there, but didn't quite manage to make it. But we're going to head side by side into turn 1, and he's managed to pass us once again. So it's just going back and forth between Mansell and us, heading into the last corners once again. We're sitting behind Mansell. We don't have the straight line speed to get past him on this straight, so we're going to lunge up the inside. It's the only move we can make at that corner. But you can just see how much straight line speed Mansell has on this straight. He's just going to lunge up the inside of turn 1, but we're going to manage to carry it around the outside with enough speed to make that overtake work. We've had a bit of a wiggle, but we've gotten past Mansell successfully. Heading into the pits though on lap 11. We've managed to change the fuel a bit for this race. Last race in Brazil, I realised that the cars weren't actually going to pit for the race because they could easily manage the race on 220 litres or less of fuel. So basically I've forced the AI and myself to pit by putting the fuel consumption up to ×6. But you can see in the pit lane, we've actually come in the same time as our teammate, John Chikoto. You can just see there that the guy behind us has just gone straight into the back of our car. And hopefully we've not got too much damage. I think we've got a little bit of suspension damage from that hit, which is a bit annoying, but we're going to fast forward the pit stop here because it's 32 seconds long. It's quite long. I can't do anything really about the length of the pit stop. That's to do with putting the fuel consumption up. But as we exit the pits on lap 12, we're going to pass Riccardo Patrese in the pits as he's still getting his pit stop done. We're going to head out behind Jacques Lafitte in 14th position. But now 3 laps later, we're coming up behind Michele Alboreto in the Ferrari, but we're going to try a move around the outside. He's going very slowly there. I'm not sure why. Might have a puncture or some sort of problem. But he was just going extremely slowly through that corner. So we're now behind Jacques Lafitte. We're 3 positions out of the points with 4 laps to go, and there's quite a few cars up ahead, so we might manage to actually get our first points, but we've headed wide off that corner. We've just been pushing far too hard through that corner, and we've headed off. But that's Alain Prost. He's one of the championship contenders, and he's pulled off to the side. I think his engine is blown. So we're on lap 17 now, sitting behind Jacques Lafitte in 7th position. We're just 1 place outside the points positions. We could manage our first points in our career in this championship, but we don't have the straight line speed to get past on the straight coming out. We might try and make a move if we're close enough coming into this last corner, but we're not quite close enough. There's a bit of traffic up ahead. That's Stefan Belov in the Tyrrell. He's going very slowly. He's just keeping to the inside, just parking the bus on that apex. But it's here where we're going to lose the most out. And we're putting the engine boost up to 10. I realised at the last race that I really shouldn't be doing that as it's quite overpowered, but I just wanted to get points in this race. I'm pushing very hard at this point in the race, putting it down to 9 for some reason. I'm not sure why I did that, but we're just 1 place outside the points on the last lap. You may see that it's 18 out of 19, but that's a bit of a glitch. We're actually on the last lap of the race as there's another car out. We're closing in on Jacques Lafitte. We've got a good run on them coming to this last corner. I think we're going to be close enough. We're not quite as he's sticking to the inside, but we've managed to hold it around the outside. And have we got the speed to carry off that position? We have, and we're into the points for our 2nd race in 1984. So we could manage our first points if we keep it together. We've had a bit of a squirm on that corner, and Mark Stewart's up ahead. He's another classified car. We could be getting 5th here as we go up into 5th, and we've actually managed to get that position. In just 1 lap, we managed to take 2 positions, and we're going to finish in the points if we actually manage to get across the line before the 2 cars behind do. And we're actually going to head across the line in our 2nd race to finish 5th for our first points. So it was a pretty damn good race there in South Africa. Just like Senna in real life, we managed to score our first points in the championship and in our career. So it was a pretty good race actually, coming off from our retirement in Brazil. But yeah, not a bad feeling getting our first points. You see the Tyrrell of Belov just having a horrific accent in the background. We're now going to look at the championship standings. At the top of the championship, we have Nelson Piquet and Niki Lauda. Both have 9 points to their name, with both having a win each. It's going to be a very tight championship between them, I think, with Rene Arnoux following closely behind in 3rd. He's actually the only driver to finish both times in the points, so he's doing extremely well, keeping a reliable car, as well as finishing consistently in the points. In 4th, we have Alain Prost in the McLaren, with 5th Thierry Boutsen, 6th Nigel Mansell, 7th Elio De Angelis, 8th Keke Rosberg, and we're sitting in 9th in the points with just 2 points to our name after finishing 5th in that race. Looking at the Constructors' Championship then, we have McLaren leading Constructors with 15 points ahead of Brabham, who are 9 points. It's actually a very good battle for 2nd in the Championship, with just basically every team 1 point apart. We have Ferrari in 3rd with 8 points, Lotus in 4th with 7 points, Arrows in 5th with 5 points. We're sitting in 7th in the championship. We're just 2 points there. We managed to score our first points in the championship, but hopefully we'll manage to score even more points for the team and for ourselves in the next few races. So yeah, it was a pretty good race, really exciting at the end actually. From a driving point of view, I was actually pretty pleased with the result. I was pushing so hard in those last few laps to claw back the gap that I lost really in the pits. I lost actually quite a bit of time because the driver that went into the back of me gave me suspension damage, and that added to my pit stop time. I think it made it maybe 10 seconds longer, which lost me actually quite a few positions in the end. But putting the boost up to 10 was actually quite a good idea because I managed to claw back the positions in the end and finish 5th. But the end of the race was actually really crazy on track, managing to overtake 2 positions in just 1 lap. And at the time I was sweating quite a lot because I really wanted to finish in the points. I didn't want to finish outside the points once again after getting absolutely nailed by De Angelis in Brazil, getting flipped over and hitting the barrier there. So I was really pleased with the result, finishing 5th. It's not that many points, it's just 2 points, but points are points, and that's what you sort of race for in the end. Anyway guys, I'm going to thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to suggest anything that I should change to the series or make even better, like if you want to see more replay cameras or something like that, just make sure to comment down below and I'll make sure to do that next race. But I think for the next race we're actually returning to Europe, the first European race of the season. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.